Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you after a 7-4 comeback victory over the Boston Red Sox. And we're going to get into all of the key moments, the highlights, the opportunities, the controversial calls in this one. There were a few of them, but the Rangers win nonetheless, and that is what is most important tonight. Here at Right on Rangers, of course, we cover everything sports, but we put a big emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Rangers and especially the Rangers during baseball season. Thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for your Rangers content today. Whether you're joining us live or on the replay, we appreciate the support. If you're not following the channel, not subscribed, please go ahead, hit that follow or subscribe button. Stay up to date every time we go live. Keep up with all of our latest and greatest content. It is much appreciated, y'all. Well, let's hang out for a little bit. It's always more fun after games like this. Always more fun when we can hang out after a W. And this W was much needed. Much needed because the Rangers were on a 3-game slide after winning the first game on Monday night in St. Louis. The Rangers had dropped 3 straight, lost last night coming out of the off day. And now the Rangers position themselves with an opportunity to win the series with their best pitcher on the mound tomorrow in Nate Eovaldi. So the Rangers homestand is looking up. It's game by game. It's day by day, Rangers Nation. But tonight was a great win, a rare comeback victory for the Texas Rangers tonight. Rangers, of course, went down 3 runs early in this one. It was 1-0 after the first inning. It was 3-0 after the fourth inning. And in the bottom of the fourth, the Rangers finally surged ahead in no small part thanks to Jonah Heim hitting a 3-run, 2-out home run in order to put the Rangers even with the Red Sox. The Rangers would go ahead in the bottom of the fourth with another 2-out RBI. Leody Taveras following up Jonah Heim with a solo shot. Back-to-back homers for the Rangers with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning. For me, regardless of anything else that happened in the game, this was the moment. Leody Taveras, Jonah Heim, flip that order. Jonah Heim, Leody Taveras going back-to-back to give the Rangers a 4-3 lead. So huge. Absolutely huge that the Rangers got those runs. You kind of felt like, and I know this is how I felt in almost every game the Rangers have gone down, you just feel like the Rangers have got to get runs early in any scenario, whether they're ahead and jump out to an early lead, whether they get a little bit behind. You just feel like with this Rangers club, the runs have to come early. It's not that the Rangers can't score when they get down and it's late innings, but the numbers would tell you this is not a very good team coming back in the 7th, 8th, 9th innings. So for Jonah Heim to come up big in that scenario, just everything in this win. And up to that point, I'm going to go back and kind of look at AB by AB here. But Houck was absolutely filthy until really that moment where Jonah Heim hits the home run. I think at one point he had struck out 4 or 5 Rangers in a row. Bottom of the third inning, he struck out Seager and he struck out Simeon back to back. Then going into the bottom of the fourth inning, retired Nate Lowe. And then Doley walks, gets Josh Young to ground out. Ezekiel Duran singles, setting up the 3-run homer by Jonah Heim with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Again, Leody, 2 homers now in the last 2 games. Leody, I believe for the first time this season, back-to-back games with the home run. Good for him. We've talked about Leody's struggles. The bottom of the order, for all we have ragged on them, and we've done a lot of that, the bottom of the order came up huge tonight. Bottom of the order had, I believe, 6 combined hits, 2 homers, 6 RBI. So the bottom of the order responsible for 6 of the 7 RBI in this one. Bottom of the order made up for all of their struggles in a big way. I know in the show yesterday, we railed on the bottom of the order. And in the show before that, it was the same thing. I mean, we were getting 1 for 22. We were getting 0 for 13, 14, depending on how many guys you're counting as the bottom of the order. But we've had some pretty routine offers from the 7, 8, 9. And for Jonah Heim and Leody Taveras and Ezekiel Duran to contribute 6 hits and 6 RBI, 2 homers, absolutely huge. It's a big reason why the Rangers, probably beyond the bullpen, the reason why the Rangers won this game. Bullpen was outstanding. We're going to get to them in a second, but let me stop and take some comments. Welcome, by the way, to everybody watching, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, whether you're on X, whatever the case may be. So, hey, look, I appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead. Let's keep things going with comments. What's up, Baseball Network? Let's go, Rangers. Cue the I Like Texas music, as I like to say. Jonah Heim, man. After being benched out of the off day yesterday, I mean, I don't know if that was pre-planned, if Heim is just good with it every time they decide to sit him down. I mean, as a former player, I don't think that I would enjoy getting told I'm riding the bench any day unless I'm hurting. So unless Jonah Heim had some injury, I can't imagine he felt great getting benched out of an off day for Carson Kelly yesterday. So for Heim to come out and put in the performance that he did, the clutch 3-run homer in this one that really turned the game around. Jonah had another hit as well, a single. And without that home run, who knows where this game would have been. I think that really opened up everything for this Rangers offense. What's up, everybody? We're going to keep things rolling here. John, how's it going, my friend? Thank you for the comment and for watching. Adolis needs to keep the green shoes. I noticed those, man. I noticed he kind of mixed it up today. Adolis 1 for 3 with the walk. You're going to take that from him every day at this point. If Doley can just go 1 for 3 with the walk every game, I think every Rangers fan, having watched the season that Adolis has had up to this point, will take Adolis going 1 for 3 with the walk. 100%. So, Doley, keep the green shoes. Whatever you did today, go back through it, write it all out, and do exactly the same thing tomorrow. Whatever that dude did, whatever you ate, right? Whatever you had going on superstition-wise, do it again so we can continue to have these kinds of games from Adolis Garcia. Interesting move. Wyatt Langford gets the bench today. Kind of the odd guy out. Duran gets the start in left field. Wyatt had not been going well over his last 15 games. He was hitting under 200. So a lot of these guys in the lineup, an off day isn't exactly out of left field. It really isn't. I think a lot of these guys, if you see them ride the bench every once in a while, look at the stats and you'll probably say, oh, I mean, a lot of these Rangers players, we talked about it on the show. We did a deep dive into some of the last 15 games stats for a lot of the players. It's not pretty. And Wyatt Langford was one of those guys. It wasn't pretty. Hopefully the reset gets him where he needs to be. Nate Lowe stepped up and hit cleanup today. Did not do a whole lot, 0 for 4. Did not have any strikeouts. He put the ball in play nearly every time, had a couple of loud outs. Again, the box score doesn't tell you everything. I think Nate Lowe actually had a couple of hard hit baseballs today, just right at people. But Nate Lowe moves up to the 4th spot. Interesting move. I thought that was interesting, maybe getting a little bit into the minutia here, but it's interesting that Nate Lowe bumps up to 4. I think you could have easily had Doley bump up to that 4 spot. They seem pretty content to keep him down in the second half of the order there. So interesting decision there, but they go with Nate Lowe 4, Doley 5. I think you need to keep Doley right there in that 4 spot, or in that 5 spot. Absolutely. Again, don't change anything. It's working right now. Let me keep things rolling here. We've got a few other comments here. Tristan, what's up, bud? Thanks so much for tuning in. The Astros lost. Yes, they did. Saw that. They were up 1-0 at one point. I think the Rays put up a two-run homer in the 6th and then tacked on a little bit more later on. We're going to go through everything in the AL West. Don't think the Mariners game has gone final quite yet. It's 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th. So the Rangers potentially could be gaining a full game here on both the Mariners and the Astros. 100%. Favorite MLB team? Come on now. Come on now. Do I really need to say a whole lot else? Yeah, Aaron, what's up, my guy? Yeah, it happens. I weed out quite a bit, but you know what? Everybody's welcome. But agreed. I'm just scrolling past. But thanks for tuning in, buddy. Thank you. Gio, how's it going, my friend? When the Rangers score 7+, they win every game so far this season. Is that right? When the Rangers score 7 or more, they win every game. Look, we've kind of talked about this. At some point, that has to just make super clear sense. You're scoring 7 runs. You probably should be winning a ton of baseball games. But nevertheless, still an interesting stat. Love stats. The Rangers had, I think, coming into the game today, another interesting stat, kind of segueing here. I believe whenever the Rangers hit 4+ homers in a game, they've done it twice this year. So they did it last night, and they did it one other time. The Rangers were 0-2 when they hit 4+ homers in a game. I don't think they got to 4 homers tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I think they had the 2 tonight. You had Heim and then Tavares. But whenever the Rangers hit 4 or more homers, they're 0-2. I mean, you can't make it up. Baseball is a crazy sport sometimes. Crazy sport. Yeah, Marcus Semien. Let's show him some love. He did not have in the box score the biggest of games. He did get on base twice. So look, anytime you're getting on base multiple times in a game, I'd say job well done. Simi worked a 13-14 pitch at bat, and I want to say that really, I think, set things up well for the Rangers to score off Houck late in his start. I think that taxed him. He was 50+ pitches, and the third inning wasn't even over yet. So getting Tanner Houck out of the game was huge, working him, getting him tired. I think that was a big reason why the Rangers were able to dump on him in the bottom of the 4th inning, get those 4 runs. He settled down a little bit, and then I believe he got pulled after the 5th. Rangers were able to get 3 runs off of him. I think he only had 6 runs total, so 2 more earned runs from Houck in the 6th inning. A kind of a curious move. I thought that they went back out to Houck in the 6th. At that point, I don't think he was quite at 90 pitches, but I feel like the Rangers had kind of beat him up a little bit. He was striking out some guys, but it ended up hurting the Red Sox, and the Rangers went on to score 3 more and take a 7-3 lead heading into the top of the 7th. So big at bats, I think, along the way. Marcus Semien, the 13-14 pitch AB he had early on in the game in the 3rd inning, I believe, I feel like really set things up well for the offense to jump on him, especially in the 6th inning, to really put the game out of reach. Let me keep going here. What's up? Thanks for the comment. The Phillies and their, I don't know, with the Phillies, their slump in comparison to what the Rangers have done, I don't know how much of a slump it really is. I know they've only won 2 of their last 10, 5-game losing streak. But you know what? When you're 21 games over 500, I think you're going to be all right. But Bryce Harper, not doing so well right now. I think he's in a big slump. Not really a big surprise. The Phillies have Bryce Harper slumping, and they're not winning a lot of games right now, although they are up right now. So I really think that the Rangers could use the Phillies getting off of their little losing streak. Rangers would stand to win a full game there. That would be very, very ideal. Very ideal. Let me keep on going here. Let me go through the bullpen. And we used a lot of guys today. I think if you're thinking about beyond today, maybe a little bit concerning going into tomorrow's game and then going into the Astros series. But I feel like you kind of needed to do what you had to today to get a win. And the Rangers had to use Leclerc, Chapin, Spores, Robertson, and Yates. Robertson and Yates both went multi-innings. Spores, Chapin each went 1. Leclerc went 2/3. Leclerc had a little bit of a rough outing, didn't give up any earned runs, but walked 2, gave up a hit, did strike out 2. You know, never a doubt with Jose Leclerc, right? Y'all have heard me joke about this all season long. You get a clean inning from Leclerc, and miracles are happening on Earth. I mean, it's It's very rare. Leclerc does have an ability to get out of messes, though. It sometimes obviously does come back to bite him. But Leclerc, no earned runs. Spore's actually the only one that did give up an earned run. The bullpen pitched 5 in the third innings today, and they only allow the 1 earned run. They did give up 6 hits. No walks from the bullpen beyond Leclerc. Leclerc had 2. The rest of the bullpen walked 0. And you got 7 strikeouts from the bullpen and 5 in the third innings pitched. So I think you got to give a lot of credit to the bullpen and what they were able to do with Cody Bradford exiting early. I think Bradford, look, the stat line doesn't look pretty, but I feel like he actually threw the ball decent today. He had 5 strikeouts. I think he was mixing up his speeds pretty well. Ref Snyder hitting the 2 bombs off him, I think really hurt. I did not understand why they were even giving Ref Snyder anything good the second time around. Didn't make a whole lot of sense to me in the moment, but Ref Snyder is absolutely crushing left-handed pitching today. Unfortunate that Bradford allowed himself to get beat twice by Ref Snyder there. And then in the, I believe, top of the 4th inning, Bradford got into a little bit more trouble as well. So you had a good start after the Ref Snyder homer. It was 2-0 in the top of the 4th at that point. You got Gonzalez striking out swinging, but then Devers hits the double. Connor Wong singles to make it a 3-0 game. And then from there, you had another walk. And at that point, they're able to get out of that inning. Jose Leclerc walks the tightrope. But I would just say with Cody Bradford, a walk in 3 2/3, 4 hits, 5 base runners, and nearly 4 innings pitched, 5 Ks. Again, I've seen worse outings. Wouldn't say he was, sharp as attack or anything like that, but I just felt like watching his whole performance. Overall, I didn't walk away thinking that was a terrible start. I actually thought he threw the ball well. He's still working his way back from being out a long stretch of the season. Bradford may have to step up and start some more games for us with the injuries, right? You've got obviously Max Scherzer going on the IL. You got Mike Lorenzen, who got traded away. So you had 2 starters right there go down. You probably are going to have a guy like Cody Bradford step up and take up some innings here in the middle of the season, or in the second half of the season, I should say. So good to see all of our bullpen shutting it down. Guys, this is the recipe. The Rangers did score some runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. I don't know if you want to count that as late inning scoring, but I will say the Rangers pretty much stuck to their typical recipe here, which is score runs early in the first half of the game and then turn it over to the bullpen to hold the lead. That's exactly what they did today. They did come back today from a 3-run deficit, something that, regardless of when it happens, has not happened a ton for them this year. So great comeback win for the Rangers. We're going to lock in on a few performances tonight, just going through the box score. And again, anyone watching, if you got something that you want to add in, a question you want to throw my way, please do so. I'll be checking comments periodically as I go through my talking points for the show today. So Smith, let's start with him. Josh Smith had not been going well. They flashed up on the Bally broadcast some of his numbers. Josh Smith was hitting under 200, I believe, like in his last 15 games or something like that. It wasn't good. Josh Smith gets 3 hits today. He actually struck out in his first at bat. And at that moment, I was like, man, the guy has struck out 5 times in a row. He struck out 4 times last night, struck out to begin the game in the bottom of the 1st inning for the Rangers bats. And I just thought to myself, I wonder if this is going to be another long one for Josh Smith. Then he goes out and collects 3 hits and an RBI after that. Josh Smith, the only other Ranger outside of 7-8-9 to collect an RBI in this one. So really happy Josh Smith gets on the board today, has a great game. We need Josh Smith at the top of the order, starting things off for us, for Corey Seager, for Marcus Semien, for everybody after that. A leadoff hitter, just so invaluable to the success of a team. If Josh Smith can get right, obviously you're not going to get 3 hits every time out. That'd be great, but it's not going to happen. But if Josh Smith can even just do his typical stat line, 1 for 3 with the walk. We'll take that. Josh Smith, though, glad to see him doing good things from the leadoff spot. It was much needed for the Rangers today. Corey Seager goes 1 for 5. Siegs had a couple of opportunities in this one and missed out on those opportunities. Had multiple runners on a couple of times, I believe, if my memory is serving me correctly. Wasn't his night, still went 1 for 5, only 1 strikeout, so put the ball in play 4 times, collected a hit. But Corey Seager, 1 for 5 on the night, 278 batting average. Marcus Semien, 1 for 4 with a walk. So we talked about Semien on base twice. I like Semien in the 3 spot. I know some people after the loss last night really wanted Marcus back in that top spot. I just think you need Marcus there to protect Corey Seager. I don't think that Josh Smith is a respected enough name around baseball. I think a lot of teams are going to be willing to walk Siegs to get to Josh Smith, regardless of how well Josh Smith has played this year. Smith absolutely has burned teams that have walked Seager to get to him, but I think you're playing a 162-game season. I know Josh Smith has had his moments from the 3-hole protecting Corey Seager and making teams pay when they walk Siegs, but I still like Semien. He's a better hitter than Smith is at this point in his career. We'll see what Josh Smith does the rest of the way in his years as an MLB player, but right now, Marcus Semien in the 3 spot, I think works. I really do think it works. Nate Lowe, Ofer. Garcia, we talked about Dolly with the green cleats today, goes 1 for 3 with a walk. Good for him. Josh Young, 1 for 4. Runs scored in this one. Put the ball in play a few different times. 1 strikeout. Zeke Durant, 2 for 3. 2 for 3 with 2 runs, a walk, an RBI. Good to see Durant producing when he's getting his opportunities. Zeke Durant hitting 188 over his last 15 games, 211 over his last 7. So the numbers are not awesome, and I think some of those do go back to before he was called down. So perhaps we take it with a grain of salt. Since coming back, I think he is 2 for 7, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say 2 for 7 for Zeke. I'm going to look and kind of double check his game log right now. Okay, so take that back. He is 3 for 11 since coming back from his demotion to AAA, getting called up 3 for 11. So hitting under 300 just a little bit. I think you'll take that from Zeke Durant. 3 for 11, and he's worked a walk. So 4 for 12 in terms of getting on base with your plate appearances, 333 OBP. I think you'll take that from Zeke. So hopefully he continues to make the most of his opportunities. You imagine he's probably going to continue to get more. I don't know what the Rangers are going to be doing exactly with their rotation. You know, obviously they got Leote, they got Robbie Grossman. They've got some guys that they can rotate through, but I'd imagine with the Evan Carter news, Zeke is probably going to be getting a number of opportunities here. We'll see what happens. Wyatt Langford, I'm sure, is going to be back tomorrow. But maybe the plan is just to kind of mix and match with Zeke, kind of like we thought maybe they do with Josh Smith. Maybe Josh Smith has kind of locked down that DH role. We'll see him, I'm sure, take over at shortstop for Siegs here and there. For Semien, perhaps he takes over for Josh Young occasionally. So we'll see Smith and Durant, I think, kind of in these super utility roles, with Smith being the primary DH and Zeke bumping around as needed out in the outfield, maybe in the infield as well. We'll see. But good to see him making the most of his opportunities personally. And I'm going to continue to throw this out there. I don't want to be the guy that sweeps, takes under the rug, but you know, and it's a great game for him, no doubt. But I still say I think the Rangers probably should have traded him. And I'll stick by that, but I'd love to eat crow. I'd love for him to hit 300 the rest of the season and just have a killer last 50 games or so into the playoffs. That would be phenomenal. I would love to be wrong on Zeke. I hope he kills it the rest of the way. I'm surely not rooting him for him to play bad. Surely not doing that. I take no pleasure in our offense and in individual players doing poorly. I definitely will throw out the stats. I'll definitely throw out what I would do. But at some point, there is a reason Bochy and the coaching staff get paid the big bucks and why they won a World Series last year. some of the moves that they've made, I think, have been helpful in getting this lineup back on track. I think whether or not you love it, I do think shaking up Simeon and Smith at the top of the order has made a difference. I think that moving Garcia down from the cleanup spot has made a difference. I think that there are a couple of other moves I'm sure that they're going to be tweaking with throughout the season. But right now, this looks great. Having 13 runs scored in the past 2 games, you got to be happy with that as a Rangers fan. Most of the time, we're getting an anomaly like last night where we actually score 6 runs or whatever it was, 6 runs, right, last night. And we're pretty much all saying to ourselves, yeah, that they're probably not scoring again the rest of the series. Or they're going to put up a 2 spot, a 3 spot the next day. But to score 6+ back-to-back nights, great feeling for this offense. Great feeling for him. We talked about Jonah Heim. I think probably one of the heroes of the game when it's 3-0 and the Red Sox are just building that lead. Heim comes up with a huge 2-out home run. And let's talk a little bit about that inning. Josh Young actually extended that inning by legging out a ground ball that was fixing to be a double play. So Josh Young kept the inning alive with his hustle down the line. I'm sure he would love to have that at bat back in a way and put a better effort into the ball. But look, he beat out the throw, didn't get doubled up. Zeke Duran comes up, gets a base knock, and then Jonah Heim does his thing, hitting the bomb, keeping it just inside that foul pole. That really was the turning point of the game in my book. And then Leote, 2 for 3 home runs in 2 straight games. When they decided to make Leote a platoon player and only bat him against righties, I think it really changed the game. Leote has batted against some lefties to this point, but in a lot of the situations, they're asking him to bunt or play small ball. I really do think they've unlocked a recipe here for Leote's success, which is you start him against righties, you sit him against lefties. I think that's helped to keep him fresh, and I love the move. I think that they needed to probably go to this a little sooner than they did, but I'm glad that they ultimately decided to start platooning him the way that they have, and it has worked great. So Leote, 2 for 3, 2 RBI, went back-to-back with Jonah Heim in that 4th inning. So Leote coming up clutch with 2 outs as well. You got to love it. Leote has not been playing well of late up at the plate. So for him to have this night, hopefully it's the start of one of his 2 or 3 week heaters. Leote infamous for those 2 or 3 weeks of scorching red hot baseball. And then after that, just falling off a cliff. Hopefully Leote can give us like a month of just excellent play. I would love to see Leote for the entire month of August just rake from the bottom of the order. Would love it. That's the lineup. We kind of talked a little bit about the pitching. Let me stop, though, and check comments here. So, Natalie, what's up? Thanks for tuning into the show today. I appreciate you. And everybody on TikTok watching, I'll get to y'all's comments in just a little bit. Hopefully the off day was good for Langford, and he has a good game offensively tomorrow. Yeah, I really think that Langford probably needed a day. Obviously, they had the game on Thursday, or excuse me, the off day on Thursday. But Wyatt, I think, needed a day, needed an opportunity to clear the brain, and hopefully he comes out tomorrow ready to go. So Wyatt, I think, is probably in one of those slumps right now, similar to what he was earlier in the year. Not clicking great. He has been a little bit streaky this year. You might remember he went through that like 0 for 26, then got hot. Now he's kind of back a little bit. Sorry about the dogs. Now he's kind of back a little bit. And, he is sorry, y'all. My dogs are going crazy right now. He's getting back into it. And I think that he's going to end up probably at this point continuing to be our cleanup hitter. That's what I would guess. Probably going to continue to be cleaning up unless he just keeps on sliding. If he keeps on sliding, then I could definitely see that working out, to maybe move him down to 5th, maybe move him down to 6th. But we'll see how Wyatt does in the coming days. We'll see how he does. So at this point, we're going to go through and get a couple more comments in, and then we'll check things out. It says, when we were down 3-0, I was like, here we go again. As I was saying, if you just get on base, good things can happen. Hustle makes a ton of difference. The Josh Young play, right? Could have been doubled up. Josh Young, in this case, I mean, he definitely legged that out. It was a little bit close, but that was a huge play that kept that inning alive. Josh Young dogs it down the line or isn't running full speed. And you've got a situation where the Rangers don't even have an opportunity to hit those 2 home runs. So at this point, I think that you got to give a lot of credit to those little moments where guys are legging out a ground ball, getting a safe call, extending innings. Absolutely. I was in the mindset 100% when it's 3-0 going into the 4th. We get the 2 outs fairly quickly, and you're just kind of thinking this 4th inning is going to be ho-hum once again. Then the Rangers go ahead and hit 2 homers with 2 outs, and the rest is history. Phillies up 3-0, top of the 5th over the Mariners. Tristan, thanks for the update. Y'all can keep those coming. I'll eventually do that AOS roundup that I always do to end every show. But the Mariners losing 3-0 to the Phillies in Seattle. Phillies trying to break a 5-game losing streak. And then the Astros losing by a few runs today to Tampa Bay. Huge for the Rangers with a win. And the Phillies winning and the Rays winning, Rangers could pull within 4.5 games of the division. With 50 games left, or I believe 51, that's exactly where you want to be. Exactly where you want to be at this point. So we'll keep things going here. Let me check on the matchups for tomorrow and see what we got going. I know Evo is throwing for us. Let's see what we have going for Boston. Got to feel pretty good with Nate Eovaldi on the bump. Maybe a little bit of extra juice playing his former team. I would have to think there might be a little bit of extra juice there. Throwing the ball maybe a little bit harder, the heart rate beating a little bit faster. Nate Eovaldi obviously won a ring with the Boston Red Sox and went on a pretty epic run, much like he kind of did for us in our playoff run. Evo just nails come playoff time. But the Rangers will be facing off against Nick Pivetta. Pivetta, 4.47 ERA on the year in his last 7 games. And Pivetta is kind of one of those, I know he kind of did the opener thing for a little bit. It does look like he is getting all nothing but starts this year. So he's played 17 games, started 17. He's 1-3 with a 5.30 ERA over his last 7 starts. He's coming off a start against Seattle where he was dealing, went 7 innings, 3 earned runs. Before that, in his start at Colorado, he made it 2 2/3, 10 hits, 7 earned runs. Granted, you're playing in Colorado, a hitter-friendly place, not for the Rangers, of course, but you have a pretty rough outing there. And then against the Dodgers in his third outing, third back, I should say, before that Colorado start, 6 innings, no earned runs. So kind of 2 really good starts in his last 3, sandwiching kind of a really bad start. So we'll see what we get from Pivetta. I don't know what to expect. We could be getting the guy that went out and threw 6 shutout innings against the Dodgers and shut down the Mariners. We could be getting the guy that gave up 10 hits and not even 3 innings to the Rockies. So we'll see. But Nick Pivetta, 5.30 ERA in his last 7. You really hope the Rangers can just continue the offensive production that they've been putting up over the past couple of games. That would be beautiful, beautiful to see. And then in terms of the matchups, let's see what each side has done against the other side, against the opposing pitcher. So we'll check out and see how the Rangers have fared against Pivetta. Then we'll take a look at how the Red Sox hitters have fared against Nate Eovaldi down the stretch. Then we'll get into our ALS roundup, go from there. So in terms of the Rangers against Pivetta, you have a number of guys with at-bats. There's only 3 Rangers players that have 0 at-bats against Pivetta: Josh Young, Wyatt Langford, and Josh Smith. Those are the only 3 Rangers with no at-bats against Pivetta, the probable pitcher for the Red Sox tomorrow. Zeke Duran 0 for 1, Doley 0 for 5, Grossman 2 for 2, Jonah Heim and Travis Jankowski 0 for 4, Carson Kelly 1 for 2, Nate Lowe, 2 for 4. Corey Seager, 2 for 9. Marcus Semien looks like 5 for 18 with the homer. And Tavares, 0 for 2. Now, those are all really small sample sizes. You got a lot of guys, a majority of the team with 5 at-bats or less against Pivetta in their careers. Seager and Semien, really the only guys with more than 5 at-bats. So hard to say exactly what to expect from the Rangers lineup against Pivetta. It's a new season. They have not faced Pivetta yet this year. We'll see what happens. On the other side, Evo against the Boston lineup. Devers is 1 for 5 lifetime. Jansen, 1 for 3. Dominic Smith, 1 for 4. Wong is 2 for 4. Yoshida is 2 for 5. Nobody in the Red Sox lineup has homered off Nate Eovaldi. So this should be, I think, a pretty good pitching matchup. And you just hope that the Rangers bats continue what they've been doing both tonight and yesterday, even in a loss, and get the series win. Feel like, maybe for the next little stretch here, I know that I've kind of played the game on the show here. What do the Rangers need to do over the next 2 weeks, right? What do the Rangers need to go over the next month in order to be in a good position? This time of the year, it gets really, really tough, and a lot of it depends on what the other teams in the division are doing. But the Rangers need to just focus on winning series, and especially winning series at home where they have been a far better team. The Rangers, I believe now, after the win today, are 30-24 at home. 30-24, I believe, is the new record at home for the Rangers. That is a good baseball team. 30-24, stretch that out over 162 games. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good ball club. On the road, Rangers are 23-34, 11 games under 500. So you got to take advantage of the home cooking here. You've got a rubber match tomorrow against the Red Sox. You've got 3 games against the Astros. Those are going to be huge. The Astros lose tomorrow and the Rangers win. I know that you have to kind of depend on what the Mariners do, but you could potentially be looking at an opportunity if the Rangers were to get a sweep. You could be looking at an opportunity there to come within a half game of the Astros. Again, the situation is Astros lose tomorrow, Rangers win. You would then be 3.5 back of the Astros. And with a series sweep of the Astros, which is no easy task, understood, you would be within a half game of Houston with the sweep. That is absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. So let's keep things rolling here and let's talk through the scores from around the AL West. We already covered Houston. They lost today to the Rays by the score of 6-1. The Rays really pulled away late there. Astros had Blanco going today. So Blanco, I think, had a fair outing, but late the bullpen gives up the lead and also extends the lead. Tomorrow, Arrighetti looks like is pitching for Houston. Not sure who the Rays have going. Arrighetti, 5.58 ERA. Hopefully the Rays, who are not totally out of the playoff hunt, they're still kind of in the wild card mix. You would think the Rays, even though they traded off a number of guys, still going to be playing hard. They won today. So if the Rays can take 2 out of 3 in Houston, Rangers can take 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox, you're looking at an opportunity for the Rangers to pull within a half game of Houston with a series sweep. Again, maybe a tall order, but not impossible by any means. So this is going to be, I think, a really interesting 4-game stretch. Could potentially make or break the season. I don't say that all the time, and I'm not trying to be over dramatic, but could potentially make or break the season. Playing 3 games against the Astros, who currently are in first place still, and with the Mariners' loss, would reclaim first place. I would really, really like to see exactly the scenario that I just played out happen. I'm going to put it out there right now, manifest it. That would be a potentially season-saving series for the Rangers. Even if they get 2 out of 3, you're still then going to be within, a game and a half, 2 games. with 47 games left, that's a piece of cake. I mean, it's not at all impossible at that point if the Rangers can get within a couple of games with 45 plus games left in the year. All right, let me check comments here, sift through the nonsense. JT, I'm not even going to put that up here if you're still watching. Some of y'all just think that I just don't have a clue, I guess. People trying to get you to say dumb stuff. Come on now. Wasn't born yesterday. Y'all got to know better. All right, let me keep things going. Scores from around the league. I think the only notable one, the White Sox have now lost 19 games in a row. Oh my gosh. 19 games in a row for the Chicago White Sox. That's painful. I feel bad for White Sox fans. They lost again today to the Twins to make it 19 in a row. That's embarrassing. I wonder what the major league record is for losses in a row. It's got to be upper 20s. I do remember some upper 20s. Let me see. MLB losing streak record. Let's see what this is. The longest losing streak in MLB history was 26 games, and that goes back to a ball club that played in Louisville back in 1889. And that was, let's see, the Louisville, who was this? The Louisville Colonels. But in the live ball era, as they call it, 1961 Phillies lost 23 straight. So if you're looking for something a little bit more modern, the 1961 Phillies lost 23 straight. So for live ball era losing streaks, the White Sox are getting pretty close. And that's pretty embarrassing. Let me check TikTok comments right quick. Colin, what's up, man? Yeah, it is about time we got a dub. 100%. Been too long. Bullpen, W, 100%. Bullpen was nails today. Thank you, AJ, for the comment. Appreciate it. I'm just scrolling through all the TikTok comments here, making sure I didn't miss anybody. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate the comments, the likes, all the support. Thanks so much. Let me keep going. Let me get headlines here from today. Flaherty starting for the Dodgers today. His first start in a Dodgers uniform. And it looks like early on, looks like this one is still going. But right now, the Dodgers are up 3-0 in the top of the eighth. So Flaherty coming out to LA and allowing 0 earned runs in his start. Good for him. That's got to feel good. Kikuchi, unfortunately, went to the Astros in the trade deadline and almost beat a franchise record for most strikeouts in the debut after getting traded for. So Kikuchi was on yesterday. He's been a little bit up and down all season, but there have been a number of players getting acquired by other teams, contending teams at the deadline, that appear to be producing so far for their new ball clubs. Beyond that, Hunter Green extends his scoreless streak to 21 frames, tallied 11 strikeouts to blow past the Giants. Jackson Holiday for the Orioles, heating up with his second straight multi-hit game. Looks like Jacob deGrom, we didn't talk about deGrom. He's on the front page, set to face hitters soon. That's great news for Jacob deGrom. You got to imagine a rehab assignment is probably coming maybe within the next week or so. Maybe we see deGrom very, very late August, early September. That would be phenomenal. The Beat the Streak leader. Those of y'all that maybe have heard of that game, you choose somebody to get a hit every day, or you can choose 2 people and double down. And the goal is pick 56 straight winners, just like Joe DiMaggio had 56 games, getting a hit in a row, win $5.6 million. No big deal. But the Beat the Streak leader goes to 49 games now, 7 away from $5.6 million. Wowza. Good for him. Good for him. All right. I don't think there's a whole lot else to go through, y'all, on the front page. We absolutely are thrilled with the Rangers win today. Evo coming tomorrow to get that series win from the Red Sox against his former team. We'll take it. And then the Rangers, very big series, Silver Boot series against the Houston Astros. That could be a huge series as we head towards the end of this season into September, into late August. That could end up being extremely big for either ball club. Rangers have a big opportunity to get right back into the AL West race. Of course, we'll be bringing the post-game analysis to you guys after every Rangers game, win or loss. Wanted to say, if you're not following, you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead, hit that follow or subscribe button. Maybe get some notifications going as well. Stay up to date every time we go live and with all our latest and greatest content. If you know somebody that loves the Rangers or loves baseball in general, please tell them about the channel. Tell them about the account. Send them one of my videos. I would be very, very grateful. Let's keep growing this good group of people we got talking Rangers baseball, talking baseball in general. I appreciate it, y'all. Well, hope everybody's having a good weekend. Always nice to get a Rangers W on a Saturday night. Aaron, what's up, my guy? I'll get your comment in real quick. Aaron says, I'm late, but man, what a game. Good offense, good defense, no errors, pitching spot on. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Just a great bounce back win after a really disappointing game last night. You hope that this is going to be a catapult to a good stretch of games here for Texas. They always play better at home, it seems like. 30-24 now, home record. Rangers are a winning ball club at Globe Life Field. You wish they could play every game there. Rangers just got to get a little bit better on the road, and this season could really start going places. But got to win tomorrow, win the series, and then a big one, a big series coming up against Houston. Hopefully the Rangers can exercise some demons playing Houston at Globe Life. They seem to be able to have Houston's number down at the juice box in Houston. But let's see some wins against the Stros in Arlington for the home crowd. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your Saturday night. A good Sunday tomorrow. Hope to see you after the game tomorrow. But if not, hope you have an outstanding rest of the weekend. Hopefully you can catch up with us on the replay or hit us up on another one of our lives on Monday or Tuesday for the Astro series. We'll probably try and go live during some of the games, maybe tomorrow, but for sure during the Houston series. The Houston series is always one I love to watch live with you guys. So if you can do phone and TV same time, hang out with me, watch a little Rangers baseball against arch rival Houston Astros Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that 3-game set. All right, guys, have a good one. Thank you again. Appreciate all of y'all and the support. Thank you for choosing Right On Rangers for your Texas Rangers content. Have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see y'all soon. As I always say to end every show, God bless. Go Rangers.